Artemis, may I ask you a question? When I was in the cage, I had a lot of time to think about things. I realize now, though, that one thing I never thought about was fighting. It was only ever something I just did, because the druids told me to fight. Well, now that it comes to it, I don't think that's a very good reason to fight. Or do anything, really, just because it's what someone wants from you. I think if you're going to wield a tool as awful as violence, you had best have a really, really good reason. So, Artemis, why is it you fight?
I've struggled with that as well, my friend. But you've helped remind me of why I decided to pick up my bow. Back home, there's a hidden grove where I spent many days asking myself those same questions. It was there, surrounded by the delicate balance of nature, and with some help from my Licky, that I realized why I must fight. We fight for those who can't, and so that one day, we won't have to. I look forward to the day I can once again sit and try to listen to the trees.
Hey there, Dungeoneers. The Strahdcast will be celebrating its 1-year anniversary this Halloween. To celebrate, we have a lot of fun stuff going on. On Monday, October 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be premiering our Death House mini-campaign live on Twitch. Come join us for this super spooky, super deadly, classic D&D dungeon crawl, featuring Campbell, Kay, Tyler, and Ned as all new characters, summoned to Barovia years before the Goons' arrival. We're also running a sweet Patreon promotion for our anniversary month. When you make an annual subscription to our Patreon at any level during the month of October, you'll get a 10% discount on your subscription, a pack of 3 never-before-seen Goon stickers, and an original postcard from us. If you're already a subscriber and you upgrade your monthly subscription to an annual one this month, you'll receive all the same goodies. If you've been waiting for the right time to join our Patreon, this is the sign you've been looking for. You'll instantly gain access to our Discord, where everyone is super cute and supportive. You'll receive a 15% off discount code for our merch store, and you'll unlock over 150 Patreon exclusive goodies, including 12 secret backstories, 19 episodes of Goon Talk, our talk show podcast, 17 behind-the-scenes clips, all of Kay's keeper notes from Madness and Mercy, and so much more. We can't wait to meet you there. When last we left our heroes, they had defeated, however narrowly, the Brides of Strahd, and stopped them from returning Irina to the Count. With the brides dispatched, the heroes planned to return to the relative safety of Vallaki, in the hopes that Irina might get some small reprieve. What will they find back in town? And how has Irina fared in the company of the Count? Find out now, on the Strahdcast. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Shuffle off this mortal coil and transport yourselves to the far, foggy realm of Barovia.
Did we win?
I got the Shadow Blade. I gotta stab something.
The next person who looks at me funny gets a Shadow Blade.
We gotta keep running now, though, because we still don't know when the other bride's showing up, and Strahd could always just come.
Well, they both bamfed away.
All right, well, no problem. Everybody hop in the car. Oh.
Shit!
Yes, well...
What's up with Desi?
It looks like we're...
I think she's okay. She's this hedgehog. She doesn't take any damage.
Okay.
Wait, so our card is trashed?
Our card is fucked. Right. We still have Gertruda. We're just collecting.
I know you're thrilled about that.
We are just collecting people.
When it was like, please kill Gertruda.
Never! I just need her to follow directions.
Well, she doesn't.
Feeling that that's going to work out, so we might as well...
We just keep shipping people back to Danica and being like, hello, Mom.
Here. Take care of more kids, please.
Mom, we found this stray cat.
Mama!
She's a real pain in the ass. Can you take care of her?
Okay.
Speaking of,
I'm ready.
Quiet again falls over the road here. You can still hear maybe some creaking and the light burning of the cart. But otherwise, the brides are gone. Pasha has been sort of tending to Irina and Gertruda.
Throughout this, Gertruda looked like she took a bit of a beating. When the cart tipped over, the time is yours.
And we all level up.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
And we all level up? Question mark?
I'd like to just like immediately jump into action and be like, let's move. Like if Gertruda looks like she's the most hurt, I'd like to put her on Desi, like check Desi, make sure Desi looks good, throw her on there, and just be like, move. We don't have time right now, and just kind of push everyone forward.
Where are we going, mate?
Back to Vallaki.
Back to Valaki was the plan. So if you want to make y'all's way.
I think, we're in need of some wound licking, so...
Is it dark?
Let's see. Well, 'cause you went for dinner, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of got there in the middle of the day, if memory serves.
I don't think we did. I think it took us the day to get there.
Strahd's old, right? Early bird special?
5 o'clock? 5 o'clock dinner?
Are you kidding? 3:30.
3:30.
I gotta be in bed by 6.
By 6:30.
All right. So all right.
Are we saying that Strahd is geriatric?
It's the evening.
He's really old.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to try to make camp by the side of the road, or do you want to try to push through to get to Valaki?
Nah, Vallaki. We don't know where the third bride is, and Strahd could go.
She's in hell, Artie.
She's in hell! She's in hell, Artie!
We sent that bitch to hell, Artie.
That is a funny
Bitches
fucking
love hell.
thing to say.
She's in literal hell.
Yeah,
I pushed her there.
As Kaz got away from her, wasn't like the last thing she said, like, I'll be back or something?
You haven't seen the last of me is the last thing that she
That's
said.
true.
Yeah.
But then I said, I decide when this is over, and then I kicked her in the face. That sounds
She's
pretty final to me.
already from hell, kinda, right? I don't know.
All right.
Let's get out of
making
here.
your way, walking the rest of the way back to
I think
Valaki.
we're trying to push our way as close to Vallaki as possible. I will carry someone if I need to.
Yeah.
Was that an
Okay.
offer or?
So
That was a if you slow me down, I'm lifting you
Okay,
off
I
your
thought
feet.
there was an insult.
Was that an offer or a threat?
Well, so as you make your way over, Kaz, you see Pasha sort of like tending to Gertruda, who looks a little beaten up. She has like civilian hit points, and she took a lot when that car tipped over, so actually she doesn't look great. So Pasha is like kind of laying on hands and like attending to her needs, and sweet baby Pasha, he looks up at you, Kaz, as you make your way over. I don't think she can walk.
Is it alright if I carry her?
That'll give her the best chance.
The best chance.
She's hurt pretty bad.
Can we put her on Desi with Pasha? Pasha, can you take care of her on Desi?
I could, if that's what you would rather do. But she came here with Kaz.
What?
Well, that wasn't really mine. But it doesn't matter. Let's put her on the horse.
Let's put her on the horse then. So you do. You kind of like Desi is despite being pretty freaked out is okay. So you put Gertruda up on Desi, and Pasha also clambers up there, sort of just attending, making sure that she's safe.
Is there anything that healing could do, or are the wounds too grievous?
No, healing would help, but she's just been through a lot. It's been a big day for her.
Can I look around and see if in all of this Anastraya's skull mask fell down somewhere?
Yeah, let's see, yeah. Huh? You find it by the side of the road.
I find
and when
it.
she turned into mist, the skull mask fell off and is now by the side of the road.
By the light of the fire, I go pick up this mask and I put it in my bag.
I want to check what's left of
Ludmilla? Nothing.
Ludmilla.
Nothing, yeah. No, she disintegrated, turned into mist, and was gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell out, "Sang free! Sasha!"
As you do, you hear the flutter of wings, and Artemis, you hear
Yes.
the sort of like, suddenly you feel yourself stand up a little bit straighter, aligning your vertebra in a way that you didn't even realize they were hunched throughout the entirety of that battle. And Callister, you hear the fluttering of wings, and Artemis, the pattering of padded feet, and both Sangfried and Sasha arrive. Sasha looking definitely worse for wear, and in fact she has like it looks like a a branch sort of like when she fell stuck into her shoulder. She's like favoring one of her front paws over the other. But other than that, she looks okay.
So I think like even though I'm like trying to hurry everyone along, and then like that soldier like visage like fades when I see Sasha coming, and I just like break for a minute, and I just stop what I'm doing, and I just slowly walk in her direction, and I imagine I just kind of drop to my knees and just embrace her, and then if there's a branch in there, I'll just be like, I'll whisper in her ear like, "This may hurt, girl," and then I'll just kind of like rip that out real quick.
You do so, and she winces, and you see her kind of hackles go up, and she just like sits there for a moment, and that sort of just like when you stub your toe and you're like,
yeah, then I'll like take like, rip a little piece of like my cape off or something and just like press it into the wound and kind of help it. And then just like maybe tie it up real quick for her.
And as you do so, she like plods further towards you and kind of like goes up on her hind legs, throwing her paws over your shoulders. And she tries to like for a moment, it's like she's a house cat size, she's just trying to like get up into your arms and be carried like a baby.
Oh. Yeah, and I'll just kind of take a second to embrace her and give her like a scratch on the scruff of the neck, and then I'll just be like, "We have a long night ahead of us, girl."
And you can hear her like deep rumbling throaty purrs just like resonate into your chest. She's just glad to be back. Anything that comes next is fine.
And I'll just take one more second, kind of like put my forehead into her, and then like stand up and like back into soldier mode, like trying to get everyone moving. Like I don't feel safe, so I'm just trying to like push everyone forward.
Mm-hmm. So you sort of organize yourselves and get yourselves moving on down along the path. And before too long, you're making slow, because all of you have taken some lumps this evening, but steady progress back towards Vallaki.
Drogar at one point goes next to Winnie and scoops her up and just kind of like puts her on his shoulder. And just with one hand, it's just kind of like holding her, and she can feel that like his hip is kind of like in a little bit of a limp from like the whole wreckage and like the whole battle. And he just looks up and he's like, "That was very impressive. I don't even know how you did that. That was really cool."
And I figured that as I'm walking with you on my shoulder, you pan out, and like Irina's walking next to us, and I have also one hand down, and I'm holding Irina's hand like from up on Drogar's shoulder.
I shall second that. Very brave, little sister. You and Callister both. I can't believe that you came.
Well, we gave you our word.
You had to know this was going to happen.
We've been trying to get here for so long.
I think I knew, but when you're there, in that castle, it's like a little imp takes up permanent residence on your shoulder and whispers untrue things into your ear. It was terrible, but I can't believe it. I'm just so grateful to be back with you all again. You came for me.
Well, there will be more than enough time for us to discuss what you found in that castle. But for now, let us get to safety, yes?
Yes, put our heads down. I am eager to be back amongst civilized company and to see Aasimar again.
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing so good. He's bartending really good.
Bartending?
Mm-hmm.
That seems that should suit him quite famously.
He's actually quite good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So you carry on your way. Anything else for, like, the walk back?
No, I think like Drogar would go as Artemis is like kind of ushering us on. Mm-hmm. I think I would be like, Artemis, you take the lead. I'll take the center of the train, and Kaz, if you wouldn't mind holding the rear, in case anything tries to come from behind.
Nod grunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
A nunt.
I think any time that there's like a snap of a twig, I clutch Irina's hand. And yeah, there was a moment as this fight came down when all of this is happening where I just like held her for a minute, but something about that, the nightmare of like being caught back in that moment where everybody else was kind of whisked away, and then literally seeing her lifted off the way that everybody else had, it seemed, had been. Yeah, I think that, and then also that that this, like Winnie's magic was kind of imbued with fury in a way that hasn't been before. I think she's a little quieted and a little jumpy.
So yeah, a few times along the way, an owl takes flight in the woods, or snapping of a twig, or the rustling of the branches in the wind, and you like snap a few times and squeeze Irina's hand. And after a couple of times, you feel her start to squeeze back, and after a few more times, like she takes your hand in both of hers, and she says, "I'm not going anywhere anymore, sister."
Are you sure?
No, but if I have my druthers, this is where I should stay.
And then I take her hand and I say, brothers and sisters.
Gold.
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 Taking expression.
Amazing.
Wow, the first pun inspiration.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it was that easy? You know?
Okay.
On the walk back, Callister finds his way next to Drogar, Arena, and Winnie, and he looks up at Winnie and he goes, "Tonight was the second time that you fell unconscious. I did the wee little bit of healing I'm capable of for you, and you slung a guiding bolt over my head and saved my life. What are the odds?"
I think that the odds are about as good as the odds of all of us ending up here together.
So very good then.
So
Says Irina.
I guess so. Thank you for busting out your wings.
When something's right to do, you got to do it. I'm glad you got your sister back, Winnie.
I'm glad you brought me back to see her.
I'll be looking forward to the next guiding bolt. Callister acts like he has something important to do.
Oh, great. Fan-fucking-tastic. So I'm gonna say you come within sight of the walls of Vallaki as the sun begins to rise. So it's early morning. And you make your way through. There are guards posted at the gate now.
Wow.
Who's running the guards?
No. Good question, Callister.
I immediately go to find Lars.
Roll all of them!
Just roll something.
Roll what?
I don't know.
Roll something!
I show up and
20.
I see their guards at the gate, and I'm like, I fucking hope it's not the Baron, and I immediately go to find Lars.
Okay.
Roll for Lars.
So you come up to the gates, and there are two guards posted there who kind of bristle at the sight of something coming out of the darkness. But as soon as you come into view and they recognize that it is all of you, they relax and say, and you recognize that all of you recognize these two as two of the ones who fought with you in Lady Walker's mansion.
Is it the dude we saved?
No, from Ezek? No.
No, the dude in the castle.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, poor little guy. What was his name? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We love him.
He didn't.
Yes, sir.
After you discovered him having wet himself, he didn't tell you. He's like, yeah, forget it.
I'm Callister.
Forget me.
So as you draw, they visibly relax as you draw into view, and they say, "Oh, it's you lot. Oh, it's good to see you all again. Business bring you back to the city?"
Yeah, it's good to see those guards at the gates. Might I ask who gave you orders to go back to the gate?
Oh, well, that would be the newly appointed militia commander, Lars.
Callister takes a deep breath.
It seems perhaps you should have a word with Lars about his newly appointed position.
If militia commander is who you're after, I believe he had a meeting with the other members of the resistance at the Blue Water.
Oh my gosh.
Resistance.
Okay.
Resistance?
Like the sound of that.
Oh, you all have been missing for a fair mite, haven't you? Head on to the Blue Water. I think you'll like what you find.
Callister puts his hand out and he goes, "You look familiar."
I'm the one who very bravely stood in the face of that tide of undead monsters and standing right next to you, in fact, sir. You're a real inspiration.
I wish I could have done more. A lot of your friends fell by the wayside, but I did what I could.
Not in vain. You've done more than anyone's done in centuries, boy. Head on to the Blue Water. I'm sure there's much discussion to be had.
I don't want to jinx it, but it feels good to see a little bit of hope in Vallaki.
It feels good to have a little bit of hope in Valaki.
Keep it up. I give him a little fist bump.
Canonically invent the fist bump.
Great. So they let you through the gate, and you head inside. Blue Water?
Sure, let's do it.
Making your way into the city, you head back to the Blue Water, and as you walk inside, it's a relatively familiar sight greets you. You know, there's a couple of patrons in the bar. Aasimar is behind the bar, and as he looks up as you all enter, his face, he begins to beam, seeing you all come in. And then as Irina walks in, his face falls, and he just begins to weep like a baby. And he just and without a thought or a care in the world, he makes his way around the bar, across the floor, totally unembarrassed, weeping openly, and collapses into her arms, and she swaddles him. You know? She cradles him. And he's like, "You're back, you're safe. I was so worried. I couldn't do anything to help you. I just had to trust." And she says, "It's all right. I'm glad to see you too, Aasimar."
So Kaz, who has been taking the rear guard of this whole time, walks in and sees this huge outpouring of love and emotion, and just makes her a little bit so she walks up and just gives Aasimar just a little dunk dunk on the shoulder and says, "I guess I'll pour my own wine." No, shut up!
I'm going to...
And she goes and starts drinking heavily.
I'm going to roll a perception check. I don't know if this is even useful, but is there any way I can discern if Irina is aware that she's adopted? I'm trying to watch their body language.
Oh, right.
And I know Aasimar knows, and I don't know what, but I'm trying to read people.
Give me an insight. Yeah.
Also, where did we leave
Isaac?
Where did we leave him?
He's
Here.
He's
here.
He's at the Blue Water, so
he is at
He
the
was
Blue
here.
Water?
You left him
He's
here
here.
with Lydia Petrova.
Could have sworn we left him in the fireplace in Vasily's mansion.
No, Lydia.
That's a pseudo argument.
I think that's canonical that we just...
We thought about it. We thought about it.
With Lydia Petrova.
Okay.
My insight is a meager 5.
Can't tell. Who's to say? You're kind of trying to think back over the interactions you've seen with the both of them, and it's hard to tell. They behave by all accounts as if they're true siblings. So you make your way in, and Aasimar, as he sort of again begins to sort of collect himself. "Oh, I'm so glad you're all back. Much has happened since you've been away. Oh goodness, you all look dreadful. I'll tell you something. Why don't you head on up to the rookery? And I shall fetch you something hot to eat and strong to drink. What do you say to that?"
Callister nods eagerly, and then he goes, "Can I call you for a second?"
Oh God!
But he's trying to be discreet.
Yes, I suppose so. Yes. Well, but the rest of you, in fact, everyone is in a meeting now, and I'm sure they'll want a chance to talk to you. Go on up to Danica and Erwin's master bedroom, or the rest will become clear. It's so good to see you all again. Oh, I'm so happy you're all safe, and I can't believe, Irene, you're back! And he just again kind of collapses into tears.
No, boy, there are drinks that need pouring. Come on now.
Yeah,
yes,
but of course, and he kind of shuffles off back to the bar.
Irina, do you want us to hear with Aasimar, or do you want to come with us to whatever this meeting is?
Well, a meeting of what? I certainly can't be sure. It's all a bit. It's a lot coming back, and being amongst all of you again. But
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh,
What are you doing?
there is lots of time for that, sister.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'm content enough to be back amongst you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Will you come to this meeting? Will you come to this meeting with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I rather think I should.
Okay.
So heading up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Okay. You lag behind Callister.
I want to talk to Aasimar.
Okay, so everyone starts making their way up the staircase, and you sort of lag behind, and Aasimar looks over at you and says,
And is Irina hanging with us?
I'm gonna take her with me if I can to the meeting. So that
They'll
you're
all
alone.
carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was something you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, it is, Mark. Yeah. I'm trying to get ahead of something.
Well, that's wise.
Yeah. I'm not always wise, but when I am, I'm wise.
Well, by all means, if I can be of help, I certainly would like to help you get ahead.
So, you know how you saw Arena, and you couldn't help yourself, and your emotions just came out.
Oh, she's my sister, yes. I was dreadfully worried about her.
Yeah.
It is good to have her back.
Yeah, that was beautiful, and I'm glad we could bring her back to you. My concern is there's other individuals who will have a whole array of emotions now that she's back. And I want to try to make sure that reunion is handled well and intelligently.
Other host of emotions? What could you mean?
Do you not know who Arena's biological brother is?
No.
Oh my god, I didn't tell you this?
What? Well, she was... My father just... I was very, very young. I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5. I doubt she even remembers anything.
The end of the fight is, Mark, with Ezek.
Yes, he's still
We
upstairs.
barely made it out by the skin of our teeth.
Huh?
The only reason he didn't kill us is my friend showed up. I just managed to blind him. And in his last throes, he was demanding, where is his sister? Where is Arena?
What?
I don't know what that bloke's going to do when he sees her. Does she even know that you're not her real brother? I mean, you're her real brother, but biologically.
Well, yes, she knows that she was adopted, but I don't think she knows anything about. She was but a babe when when my father brought her home. I don't know that she remembers anything.
All right, I'm not good at family ties. Family hasn't been really well to me, so I'm a little out of my depths here.
Well, you're saying that Isaac Strahdcast, the strong arm of the Baron, is Irena's brother. He's just sitting upstairs. Well, what?
That's my concern! I'm scared as shit!
What should we do?
I don't know!
Oh my god! We need to get her out of here!
No, I don't think that's it. This man...
She was just captured by Strahd for who knows how long now, and you want to get carried away by this other brute?
Listen, this bloke would have died for her. I don't think he has any ill intentions towards her. And so I just want to try to make sure this reunion goes as smooth as possible.
I haven't the foggiest idea how to make that happen. This is all a lot for me, Callister.
It's a lot for me too. I don't even like people.
Me either. I'd much rather...
Yes, you do.
Oh, well, no. So what do you think we should do?
I think we should have a talk with Arena.
All right.
Get her squared away.
Okay.
She's more rational than us men.
Only too true.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have a discussion with her then.
All right.
Head on upstairs, and I'll bring you something momentarily.
All right. And Callister extends an arm. And thanks for keeping this ship upright while we were gone.
We must attend to the tasks for which we are suited. So then you join your friends. All of you make your way up. And you make your way into a place that you haven't been before. The master bedroom of the Blue Water, Danica and Irwin's bedroom. And Winnie, just as you saw before in the boys' room, there is a trapdoor swung open in the ceiling and actually a ladder descending down, presumably making your way up it.
Oh, yeah.
He did say go to the rookery, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's no people in this room. It's
Not
just
in the room, no.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
and you can hear voices kind of coming from the ceiling above.
Watermelon.
You make
Peas
your
and
way
carrots,
up.
peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
And you have been here before, right? You've been to the rookery before.
I think so. I will,
like-
well, or
You
did I
spied.
go up the boys' trapdoor?
Same room.
Same room.
All
Then
the
yes.
same. You like, yes,
Yes.
like,
Same room, different ladder.
So making your way up, a bunch of figures up here turn to look at you as you ascend. In the room, you see gathered around a long wooden table with like maps and like little figurines laid across it, like you would look like a war room kind of feeling, right?
Drogar walks up and goes, I feel right at home.
Yeah. So making your way up around the table, directly across from you, sort of center stage, is Danica. To either side of her, Lydia Petrovna.
Wow.
Now dressed, rather than her white priest robes that she was in before, she's now in a completely black outfit with a veil across her face. It looks like a kind of like a mourning, outfit.
Uh-oh.
To the other side of her is Lars, holding his halberd still.
My man.
Mm-hmm.
On either side of them are Kira and Lev, the two you saved from Ezek.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Who tried to rat us out?
Yeah, the two who tried to sell you out to Lady Walker.
But then we spit some
But
poetry.
then you made a peace poem. And what am I supposed to do about that?
You're supposed to make them join forces with the resistance.
We did some death comedy jams.
Exactly.
What was that? Lydia Petrovna.
Lydia Petrovna is her name. So all of them turn, and then also on the far side, you also see Rudolph.
Yes.
Not Rictavia.
Rudolph.
Whoa.
Rudolph.
Oh,
Van
okay.
Richten. So all of these figures arrayed around this
That old
table
queen.
turn to look at you as you make your way up the ladder, and they all turn to you and start to beam.
What was the name of the couple again, the ones we saved from Ezek?
Kira is the woman, and Lev is the man.
Drogar will step forward and just go, well, don't stop on our account.
Mm-hmm.
Danica, draws herself up and looks to each of you and says, Heroes of Barovia, welcome to the war room.
Drogar looks at the map, and does he see, any indication of the brides?
Not necessarily, no. But you can see, spelled out clearly, there's Vallaki in the center, and they've got some, you can't tell exactly what there's, but it looks like a risk board.
Yeah.
There's colored blocks and wood carved figurines. You're not quite sure what they represent, perhaps, but they're piled on there. There's the village of Barovia with a few more piled on there. There's Kresk off to the far west.
Yeah.
It seems to be sort of just an accounting of Barovia.
So Drogar walks forward and just goes, which ones represent the brides of Strahd?
Well, we don't have them yet. I suppose if we were to make them, we would put them in the castle.
It's fine. You won't need them.
What do you mean?
Did I stutter?
You have been busy, haven't you?
They're gone.
Perhaps for now. But they are not so easily put to the side.
They regenerate.
Did you say? Well, I'll say
So
did you see? They turned into mist and they flew away.
Can someone get a steak?
They turned into mist and they flew away. I think they're gonna go regroup. I think that they're still on the board somewhere.
But please come in. It is so good to see you all again. You have made your way to Kasle, Ravenloft, and yet are here again to tell the tale. What has happened?
Well,
the food was terrible, so we left.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Gaz.
Actually, wait. What did happen? We got, and I look at Danica and I look at everybody else. We got separated.
We
and
did.
At this point, I'm climbing up the ladder.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I assumed that what happened to me and there is not what happened to you guys. Wait, maybe this is not the time for this. I don't want to interrupt, Danica. What are you guys working on?
What are we working on? The only thing that is worth the working. The liberation of this valley. The defeat of the devil.
Very good.
Callister looks around the room and he goes, Danica, where's Dimitri?
In his tower to the west.
Will he be back?
That is up to him. There is much to discuss.
Did he say that he was doing something specific?
Our aims are aligned. It is just that, tribulations such as ours cannot be solved in so short a time.
Okay.
But it is good to have my son back in the fold. He is a powerful ally. You have brought him back to us.
Is Erwin in the room?
No.
Okay.
And then I don't say it, but I look at her thinking the question.
Erwin is in the kitchen. But please, my friends, this is very exciting seeing as you are the cause of all of this. But this is the headquarters now of our resistance movement for a free Zenobia. You have led by example long enough. It is time for us to begin to take matters back into our own hands. It's good to have you back again. And I think it only fitting, as this is one of our inaugural meetings, and you are the spark which has enkindled all of this. It's only fitting that you choose the name of our resistance, of our movement, of our power. You need not answer now, but we would have it from your lips.
Well,
We'll think about it.
Please, take time. I am sure you are ready, and we have much to discuss here. You, of course, know Lady Petrovna.
Lady?
She has generously offered to be the new priestess in the rebuilt church. She has taken a vow of silence for the time being, but is a valuable asset nonetheless. And of course, you know Militia Commander Lars. He gives a cheeky grin and he tips an imaginary cap, and he says, "Good to see all fine folk again." Lev and Kira were new to our cause, but have made it into this council on your recommendation, so to speak. And they...
Glad to see that they're still around.
We were in service to Lady Wachter. Misguided. We were. We believed that putting power back into Strahd's hands would bring peace. You all convinced us otherwise. Lady Wachter is gone, it is true, but there is still much in the city that is a danger to this movement. That is why we are here.
I don't approve of the methods aligning with Strahd to try to get peace, but it shows you got some gumption. And I'm glad that you've placed your energy in a direction that's a little more useful.
You gave us a second chance. We intend to make the most of it. And then, you, I suppose, should be introducing us to Rudolf van Richten, is it? Yes. Good to see you not dead.
Where is your furry feline friend?
Locked away in his quarters, happily dozing off the meal he just got.
Good. We're glad to hear he's all right.
Indeed.
Has anyone talked to the Wachter brothers?
The boys.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, but since what's happened with them and...
You did, yeah. You talked to them before you left.
Mm-hmm.
Not since then, though.
But since then, has anyone talked to them? I feel like they might be useful.
Not yet. There is much groundwork to lay, but a good point. And she begins furtively scribbling on some note papers
Von
on the
Richten
table.
begins to speak up, and Danica's like,
No. I'm at the head of this table.
Drogar looks to Kaz and says, Kaz, I believe now is the time for you to bring your people into the fold.
Right. How familiar are all of you with the Berserkers?
They all just shit themselves.
The wild folk do live to the west.
We prefer to be called the Berserkers.
Then that is the extent of my knowledge.
I say we because this was bestowed upon me by the spirit of their former leader.
And she shows the blood spear.
Some of you may have seen this before. Anyone who fought alongside us at the Burgermaster's mansion. It's an incredibly powerful artifact of Kavan the former leader of the Berserkers, who saw fit to deem me worthy as his...
Kaz knows the word, but Kay's forgetting it right now.
Successor. All this to say, I have command of a very, very powerful force of fighters out in the woods near the winery. Wizards of the Wine's winery.
Danica just looks sort of flabbergasted. Will the miracles never cease?
There is someone whose opinion, I think, needs to be heard in this room. Her name is Zarya Ulnaya, and she's one of the greatest warriors I've ever faced.
Please. Nothing would bring me more pleasure than to meet with this Zarya Ulnaya. I entrust it to you. Please, introduce us that our causes may be joined. Any who oppose the devil are welcome here.
Did you say to moot?
I did.
You say to moot?
That's
what we call an Easter egg, boys and girls.
Hey!
I got a question.
Our first Easter egg.
Yes, Callister.
I'm a strong believer in group knowledge being more broad and thorough than anything an individual can hold. Does anyone here know what the fuck the bones of a ghost are?
While we're at it, hair of a cat, silver needle.
I can get a hair of a cat.
Rictavio pipes up. I don't know. Well, if the ghost is the if a ghost is a manifestation
Trevor pulls out a
of one's
notepad.
soul after departing and separating from the body, then presumably it would be the bones of the person they were when they were
That's
alive.
so obvious!
Drogar literally turns to the wall and just bangs his head.
That's so obvious.
What did you think it was?
My friend, please, you have
Ghost bones?
been through much, and we have much business to do. Please, find yourselves some rest. When you have recuperated, there will be much to discuss, but for now, it is good to have you back. It is good to see your faces. Please, rest. The blue water is always a home.
Danica, just when we're resting, just in case we have really great ideas in our dreams, when you look at this map, is there any place that you're focused on next? Is there any place you got big questions about?
Well, the name of the goal right now is survival.
Mm-hmm.
We intend to begin building supplies. We need food coming back into the city so that we can feed recruitment. It's groundwork, foundational right now. I trust you all to continue along your business. And it is high time that we start doing our part as well. Please, you are welcome here anytime, but do not allow our matters to distract you from what is most important, defeating the devil. You are the vanguard. We are your support.
We have a young lady that we liberated from Castle Ravenloft, and she belongs to Barovia. Perhaps by returning their daughter, the farmers might feel more inclined to send food your way.
Oh, Gertruda. The return of a child, as I can speak to personally, can instill much gratitude in one. It is worth pursuing.
Perhaps if we deliver her on your behalf, on behalf of Vallaki.
I will not say no to this.
Miss Petrovna.
And she kind of turns slowly, like a ghost.
I grab her bones. Is that not what you meant?
Carry on!
That's so funny!
Hold still, will you?
It's like fucking Baraka from Mortal Kombat just like pulls them out.
Awesome.
It's very emotional.
That's awesome. Oh man.
I'll take those, thank you.
I would have gave you an inspiration.
I'm about to give up on the thing that I was going to say. Miss Petrovna, do you have any holy water? You are the high priestess now, yeah? Do you know where any holy water is? Can you bring me some sometime soon? Also, can I have my tally-ho back?
She moves up one arm and like reaches another hand into her long black flowing cloak and brings it out. And in two hands extends it towards you.
I give my tally-ho a big snuggle.
Squeezing tally-ho, you recover 2 hit points.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Drogar would like to have a... Drogar wants to go up to Von Richten.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll kind of just put a hand on his and just be like, it is good to see that you are in one piece, my friend.
You as well. I must say, you have certainly beaten the odds, all of you. I expected at least one of you to be in multiple pieces by this point, but you have exceeded expectations.
Never doubt the light, old friend.
Oh, I do not. I simply don't doubt the darkness either.
The realist. Very good. I ask you, what would be the best way for us to approach Kresk? If we are to take the devil by force, we will need the combined force of both cities.
Kresk has long been independent. It is self-sufficient and quite well fortified. I have never been inside myself, only seen the walls from out. They are isolationist. Suspicious of outsiders. Proceed with caution. But I imagine your path leads you there. On the way to defeating the devil.
If one were to approach Kresk with an offering to perhaps enter their secluded compound, what would one bring?
Kresk is remarkably self-sufficient. They were the last holdout before the devil even took this valley. They have been isolationist ever since. I do not know that there is much you can offer to them. But perhaps, if moved by a significant enough plight, they would let you in.
Well, I will sleep on that, dear friend.
They are good souls in Kresk. The souls that still have a memory of this valley before the devil. Hold on to them.
Well, that is important. We will need those memories.
If that is where you intend to go next, I suggest you rest up. I do not know exactly what awaits you there, but it cannot be any less dangerous than what you've come across so far.
Well, we certainly will have to go to the ruins, for we will most certainly need the last stone.
The ruins of Berez, yes, the city wiped out in a landslide, as I understand it, years ago. I do not know what awaits you there other than ghosts and witches, but please, do be careful.
Well, I certainly have a lot to discuss with my party.
Indeed. It's good to see you back, but please, take some time. Enjoy yourselves. Celebrate into your victories. I cannot believe you have managed to recapture the girl.
He has this moment where he's trying to get up, and he kind of has, like, because he's been, like, battered and thrown under a fucking cart, like his hip is a little locked, and he just looks over at Von Richten, and he's like, old boy, would you...
Without saying a word, he, like, flips his cane up into the air and, like, grasps it around the middle, and then just extends the head up towards you.
Yeah,
Please.
and Drogar's
I am
like,
more than acquainted.
and he just goes,
Fine.
and just kind of like gets
He
up.
lends you his walking cane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought for a second he was gonna like whack your hip back into place.
Crew! Son of a... That feels amazing.
So, yeah, now the time is kind of yours. You can talk to anybody you want to. Think about what you want the name of your resistance movement to be.
Oh my god.
Kaz and the Zits.
I'm gonna walk up to Danica.
Okay, great.
And I'm gonna ask her.
This will be the last time you fuck
When
with
we brought the
Kaz.
gravedigger to you, you seem to know off the top of your head all the ramifications of what he did, and who needed made right with. This whole fight with Lady Walkden was it was my fault. And a lot of your keepers of the feathers fell. Are there any family members of those who failed that need anything done?
Fault is an interesting word. I do not think it is right in this instance. Consequence, perhaps.
Fair enough. I still would like to add a little something to the other side of the scale.
And it is noted, and very much appreciated. But I do not think any of you could or will ever grasp what it is you have done. You have delivered to the people of Zenobia a victory that this land has not known in 400 years. This, and she gestures to the table and the people gathered around, does not happen without you. This spark, and she grows sorrowsome, is one that all would be glad to die for. You owe us nothing, Callister. We owe you everything.
Fair enough. Well, I am at the Keepers of the Feathers service. If there's anything you, Owen, or any of the family members need, just let me know.
Certainly. We will continue to work together.
You're good at this leadership thing, Danica.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are kind.
Yeah.
He's not kind, he's correct.
Even kinder still.
Tell me, Danica, where is the Burgomaster?
Still in the mansion, I believe.
It still stands?
Well, what is left of it? Yes.
I believe perhaps there needs to be a discussion of him relinquishing his responsibilities.
I would agree with you. And I don't know if he's up to much anymore these days. You check in on him if you wish. I am not overly concerned at the moment. If you wish to see Isaac, as you brought him here, he is still below in one of the guest rooms.
How is his state mentally?
He has said nothing since he awoke.
But he hasn't been angry?
I cannot tell. I look into his eyes and I see nothing.
Has he eaten?
We've tried. He takes nothing.
Perhaps you could speak to him, Callister.
Oh, yeah, because he loves to hear from me.
On the contrary, you were the one who spoke through to him.
I'll talk to him. I need to talk to another individual first, and then I'll try to sort that out.
The Blue Water is your home. Do as you will. You have earned some rest.
Well, I think for one, a celebratory drink.
Should we go eat and drink?
Mm-hmm.
Would you all join us?
I thought you'd never ask. In fact, I didn't hear you ask. I'm already halfway down the stairs.
So you head back down.
Cut to drinking and partying montage.
Everyone makes their way up to that sort of second floor of the Blue Water, which you're all very familiar with now. And you make your way into the room with Irina, who we'll say everyone like maybe took a minute to like wash up, try and kind of shake off the dirt from the road, quite literally.
The ash.
Yeah,
and fire
right.
And soot. And...
So I'm picturing, you walk in, maybe Irina maybe has changed into like a comfortable like night gown. And maybe her hair is still a little wet from having washed her face in a basin. And she sees you walk in, Winnie, maybe casually, not trying to make a scene, but just to know that.
So very casual.
Just so casual, just to be there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She walks over and she just sort of kneels down. So she's on your level. And she says, I owe you an apology, little sister.
What do you mean?
I'm so sorry if I made you worry.
You are not the person who made me worry.
Well, all the same, if you were worried, I'm sorry it happened.
Were you worried?
Your letters helped a lot.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? I think I can heal you. You're hurt.
Oh, little sister.
I can heal you.
She
if you're
scoops
hurt.
you up, She scoops you up and goes over to the bed and sits. And she sits you on her lap, kind of facing forward, and she just kind of starts braiding your hair behind your head.
I think that might have gotten singed a little bit.
Yes, I think, but there's some things we can do. We'll leave in a doubt.
Do you know, it's been uneven for so long because these girls put glue on my pillow one night.
What?
When I was at school, and then I laid my head down on the pillow and I got stuck.
Why would anyone put glue on your pillow?
They were terrible. They were terrible.
Well, I pity them, because they lost out on the chance to make friends. The really wonderful little girl.
Do you feel okay sleeping in here? I know that... You know what? I think maybe I should nail the windows shut, just in case.
At that, you hear at the door.
Yes! Fucking knew it! It's finally happening!
Come on.
Kaz walks in and gives a nod to Winnie and looks at Irina and you can tell that she's taking in that she's here and that it's really, she's very happy to see her, but she's she kind of puts it away really quickly and just gives her the same nod and grunts at her too. And then without a word, she tries to find the largest non-bed piece of furniture in the room. Can we say it's an armoire?
Yeah, it's certainly an armoire, yeah.
Without saying a word, she lifts it or drags it or whatever and puts it in front of the window.
Great.
Good idea. I think also, just to be really safe, we should, do you have something that we can write on the window with? Is there a piece of, I don't know.
I think I've got something from a sort of just a little almost like an apothecary satchel that she carries, that she wears on her hip. She pulls out a little strip of paper and a quill.
Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna write on the piece of paper, "You are not invited." And then I'm gonna figure out how to stick that on the window facing outside. So I have to write it backwards.
I figure you write it one way and then you're
It's the letter.
oh no.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. The letters are facing kind of different directions. It says, "You are not invited." And I'm going to put that on the window facing out and find a way to stick it.
I think you can sort of wedge it in between the window pane and the armoire, so that's just holding it there.
I think Irina's holding me by the legs.
Yeah.
As you stick it up and I just shove the thing against the window, putting it all together.
That's great.
I'll grab a chair and...
First, I'm sure that'll work. But let's just say it doesn't. Irina, you can take this chair, jam it under the doorknob like that. That'll slow him down. Last thing,
she pulls out a javelin.
Have you been practicing?
Strangely enough, during my tenure as a guest in Castle Ravenloft, Strahd did not deem fit to arm me with weapons.
Disappointing, but I can't say I'm surprised. You've got some catching up to do.
Just gives a little toss.
And she catches it quite nimbly. I do look forward to it. Oh, it is. I'm so glad that you came. She takes the javelin and she just kind of leans it up against the frame of the bed, so it's leaning right up next to it. And she a little chill runs down her spine. And she says, "It was being there, it was very strange. Strahd has a way about him. He was very generous, a gracious host. He showered me in lavish gifts and fine food. He brought me through his library. He showed me the dance hall. He could even be sweet if he really put his mind to it. He treated me the way any little girl would dream of being treated, as long as I did exactly what he told me. As long as I went where he sent me, as long as I ate what he fed me, if I wore what he gave me, if I thought what he told me. If I didn't, he got so angry. And that's when he would show who he is. I was able to hold off the worst of his attentions, funnily enough, with courtly rituals.
etiquette and manner, and if the smug look on my father's face if he knew that all of those etiquette lessons helped me. Thank you for coming when you did. Girls, you must. I know that you work hard and you work for the whole valley, and I am just a small piece of it. But please, girls, don't let me go back there. He will kill me.
We're gonna keep you safe. And I'm not gonna let you go back there. And I'm not gonna let bad stuff happen to you. You saved yourself. We came when we did because you asked us to, because you made it so clear, and you were so smart and so sneaky. And you were able to let us know everything that we needed to know. And you climbed out of there yourself.
Yes, just like a fairy tale.
You're something.
Indeed. Yes?
Housekeeping.
I'll go over and crack the door open.
And what you see is Drogar holding a tray with tea on it.
Is this a tea party?
May I enter?
Did you bring us a tea party?
I brought you tea.
Wait, listen. I'm gonna touch you through the door.
Yeah.
This is girls' night.
I understand. That's why I brought you the tea.
Okay, thank you. Come on in.
And Drogar makes a big show of like, and he's very rigid, upright, and comes to like, I imagine there's like a wooden table, like a side table or an end table, and he kind of moves it over and puts it down and puts the tea down, and he looks at all three of you and goes, ladies. And then he walks back to the door, and he's about to close the door, and he just kind of leans in and he goes, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back, Drogar, thank you.
No.
Dad.
I don't know the right way to drink tea.
Would you like me to show you? It's actually much more complicated than you might think.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
I'm helping you on.
Yes, you see. Yes. It is, of course, proper when tea is presented not to hold it by the cup, but by the saucer beneath. You lift it up, and before drinking, you rotate the cup 90 degrees to your drinking hand side, and then lift, pinky out, and sip. Now you try.
Make me roll dexterity.
Do a performance check. Do a performance check.
Can Kaz roll that with disadvantage?
I was just going to say this.
Oh,
What'd you
yes.
I'll
Oh,
try in
with
a
a
second.
-1.
Oh!
That's an 18.
Yeah, you do an excellent job. Your instincts from the school kind of kick in because they tried to hammer a lot of that same shit into you, but like never before have you actually wanted to do it. So now you find yourself doing it expertly. Very good, Winnie and Kaz.
Oh boy! I'm not even gonna roll because Kaz picks up the saucer in her like monstrous half-orc hands and is like trying so hard, but like she's trying too hard.
It's like shaking.
Yeah,
It's just
so the cup is making this like, and she takes it and like she doesn't know what 90 degrees means, so she like spins it around with her finger a couple times.
Oh my goodness!
Like she's unscrewing a wing nut and picks it up just between I think the thing only fits between these two fingers. So pinky, ring finger, and middle finger are all outstretched, but violently outstretched. They're not like dainty. They're not like ballet fingers. They look like claws the way she's holding them. There's so much tension.
They're like Martha Graham modern fingers.
Yeah, I was thinking actually like Nosferatu fingers. Yeah. just so much tension in them as the cup's shaking. And she takes a sip. And then just palms it and downs it. I like my way better.
Do you know something, Kaz? My mother used to say to me that etiquette, she used to say, think of etiquette like an instrument. It will make the same sounds, no matter who plays it, but if you get really good at it, it's an exceptional way to show people who you are. And I think I just realized what she meant, Kaz.
She just gives like a satisfied like smile and. So I think when you first started saying that, she thought she was really not gonna like what you had to say. But then, yeah, you had me in the first half, not gonna lie, and then it turned around. So she's like, oh, okay.
I think I like that. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Do you play an instrument?
Well, my father, of course, tried to get me to play many when I was a child. None of them quite stuck, I'm afraid. Much to my shame, I certainly would like... Ismark is a daft hand at the lyre, though.
Whoa!
Yes, ask him sometime. He'll turn red as a beet.
Oh, very well! I gotta admit something. I'm really scared that after all this time of sending you messages, now that I have you here, I'm worried that I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Winnie, you couldn't possibly.
Do you want to talk about... You've been there for so long. Do you want to talk about it, or would you rather not talk about it at all? I have come up with things that we can talk about instead.
That's very thoughtful of you. I've said my piece. I'd like to leave it to rest, I think.
Okay, then I would like to play Zone of Truth or Dare.
Oh! How do you play that?
Okay. This is Zone of Truth or Dare, and I've never played it before with anybody. And it has no rules yet. I'm gonna make them up.
Oh, how kingly! Well, we shall endeavour to make them up together.
Okay. And also, I can't cast Zone of Truth. Because I'm out of magic. I'm really tired. And now Winnie is like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
She's like getting little kid second wind, where her eyes are like a little bit wide. Like she's like, I'm gonna stay awake all night.
So Irina, like, she smiles warmly, and she, again, she kind of, like, scoops you up. She, like, lays down into bed, and she kind of, like, big spoons you, and she starts, like, petting your hair. And she's...
Don't try to make me go.
No, I'm not. Tell me about... if we can't play tonight because we're out of magic, why don't you just tell me the rules?
Well, 1 round. Okay. So... Choo-choo-choo-choo. And she does thaumaturgy.
Awesome.
And just makes it look like... Can I make it look like I just kind of threw, like, confetti or something into the air?
Yes.
Is that how thaumaturgy works?
Sure, it is now.
And it, like in a fountain, it kind of goes over us, and like we're under the parachute in gym class, and then kind of fizzles away.
God, what a throwback.
And then kind of fizzles away, and I'm like, okay, pretend I just cast Zone of Truth, so you can't tell a lie. And then you just do a truth or dare. But if you don't want to answer the truth question,
Then you do a dare?
I guess. I haven't thought about it enough. Okay, let's do this. Cats. Zone of Truth or Dare.
Dare.
Dang it! I wanted you to say Zone of Truth!
Then Zone of Truth.
No, you said Dare. I'm gonna honor the Dare. Okay.
I think we're making up the rules as we go.
are.
So I'm gonna change my answer and say Zone of Truth.
Close your ears. Irina.
Yes.
What dare should we do? She said dare first. I think we should honor the dare. It's very daring.
What if, she has to make a haiku about Ismark?
Oh, that's really good!
Yeah.
Okay, ready, set. Here is your dare.
I forget which one I picked.
You picked dare.
Right.
And I'm gonna honor your dare. So, you got to come up with a haiku about Ismark.
What is a haiku?
It's a poem. It's a poem, and the first line is...
5 syllables, followed by 7, and then another 5.
Okay,
What is a syllable?
It's like, your name only has one syllable. Like, bam, that's a syllable in
Got
the
it.
word. Okay, so I'll count it down like I do when I'm sending a message. So, about Ismark, you have this many.
Okay. Only that many.
For the first line.
Oh my goodness. Me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness me. Okay, and now you have this many.
I can't make it to the till.
That's so good!
This one is on me.
Oh, that is so kingly!
That was so good! Okay.
He gets so nervous when he's bartending. But he does it every day.
He's nervous no matter what.
He's been like that since he was little.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's like a little puppy dog.
Yes, yeah. He just needs a hug during a thunderstorm.
Oh.
I feel kind of bad for making fun of it now.
No, that's a nice poem. I think he would think that poem's sweet.
He brings it on himself.
Irina.
Such big sister energy. Oh my god.
Really? It's his fault. No worries.
Irina.
Yes, little sister.
Zone of truth or dare?
Zone of truth.
Zone of truth. Irina. Have you ever had a boyfriend?
No. Have I ever wanted one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, I think every little girl dreams of someone kind and humble and sweet who will take care of you and shield you from the world of troubles, not by standing over you, but next to you.
If you had to be boyfriend-girlfriend with somebody in our group, who would you want to be boyfriend-girlfriend
Goodness gracious me. Well, who was that fetching young man, with the dark hair, who we saw coming out of the blue water?
Dimitri?
Was that his name? I only saw him for a moment.
Danica's son?
Was that he?
With the white wisp in his hair?
Yes, that's the one.
I am clutching my pearls.
Toot toot.
Irina,
I hope that's true. I hope that she did see him. I can't remember that's true, but it's true.
Oh, it's fucking canon now. A really good choice. That was a really good choice.
No, it must be, because I think we went back.
Yeah, well, I think he was leaving as you were coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a really cool choice.
Well, he was very handsome. I don't know anything about him. Is he nice?
Is super nice and super powerful.
Really smart.
Super smart. And like he was like really shy and standoffish at first. And it was like kind of hard to get to know him. But then once we like did get to know him, he's like really cool. And then when we were in the zombie fight, he like showed up in the sky. And he can turn into a bird, which is really cool.
He turned into a bird?
He can turn into a bird.
I don't know if that checks any boxes for you, but I mean, if it does, jackpot.
It is fun to gossip, but it doesn't seem like there's much time for such things these days, does there?
No, there's not. And I'm trying to find it sometimes. Okay.
Okay, Winnie, well, zone of truth or dare?
I think I would rather like to do a zone of truth.
Zone of truth?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you break your nose?
That's a good one.
She says that and immediately like it just slips out.
Yes, I have noticed, I do remember when first we met, you had that bandage.
Mm-hmm.
Does she still have a bandage over her nose?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, great.
I broke my nose in the last fight I ever got in at school. And I got in a lot of fights at school. But the last one broke my nose because the teachers were not happy with my progress. They were not happy because I was not they really, really wanted me to get on board with the Twilight Matron. That's like the goddess that the school is all about. And they were really, really trying to, it seemed like they were trying to build like a army or something. Like they were trying to teach all the girls how to like worship the Twilight Matron and stuff. I don't know what their plans were. But I had just met the Waywarden right before I got to the school. And it seemed like a really, really not a good move to like betray him when he had like saved me. And so the teachers were trying to get me to like renounce the Waywarden, he doesn't exist, and like go for the Twilight Matron, and I didn't want to. And so I just was saying no. And so then the teachers, so the Twilight Matron's whole thing is you are closest to her when you're between waking and sleeping, or like between life and death. And so the teachers got the kids at school to beat me up so bad that I was like between life and death, to see if then I would meet her and I would like her.
Oh, little sister.
But that's how I broke my nose, and like a bunch of other stuffs. But the Waywarden had been teaching me how to heal, and so I could heal up, and then I ran away in the middle of the night that night, and I just climbed up in a tree, and then the next day I met all of you guys.
That was very brave of you.
Thanks.
If I shouldn't have asked that, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's been like enough time that it feels like it's not like they're gonna come after me. I don't think they cared about me that much at all. They just wanted me to like go join the group or whatever. So yeah, I don't feel like in danger or anything anymore about it.
Well, we care for you a great deal, don't we, Cass?
If they try it again, I'll break their nose.
They're only little. They're just...
Okay, I'll break the teachers' noses. And then the kids will be too scared and they'll run away. Because you're right, I don't want to beat up children.
I never even took my bandage off. It just looked like really gnarly and crooked at first, and I just didn't want to look at it all crooked.
Do you want to take it off now?
It might be so busted now.
I'm sure you'll be beautiful. Do you want to?
Okay.
She gingerly reaches up and just, I think at this point, it's barely even got any adhesive left.
Yeah.
It kind of just like comes right off. And she looks at you for a moment appraisingly. Just as I suspected. It's perfect. Back me up.
You see this? I broke my nose once.
Who broke your nose?
My friend Krun. It wasn't anything serious. He was just an idiot.
Did you do it on purpose?
Well, he didn't break my nose on purpose, but he punched me in the face on purpose.
Did you punch him in the face?
Yes.
Did you punch him in the face first or second?
Both.
See, you threw the first two and then he punched you.
Well, no, I threw the first one, and then he broke my nose, and then I threw the third one.
I broke his nose, I hope.
No, I don't think I did, but it hurt enough that he didn't punch me again.
Oh, well. Goodness gracious. There certainly is a lot of nose punching in the world these days.
The point is, I think my nose is pretty okay. It's been broken. Yours is pretty good, too.
That was a wonderful game, Winnie. Thank you.
I should have thought more about the rules. I'll think about them more. I'll come up with more rules next time.
We have all the time in the world to figure them out.
Okay.
Thank you. Perhaps for now we should get some rest, sisters. I'm going to be right here.
Before we leave for the next trip, do you want to pierce my ears? Like I said?
Of course.
Okay. I think that would be so cool. Do you have pierced ears?
Yeah, Cass has pierced ears.
I was
think so.
that you
Yeah,
also
she
have
totally does.
cool pierced ears.
She totally, yeah, hers are pierced to shit. She's got like tick, 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 tick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's well versed in this.
Okay. Do you want
We're
some-
gonna need a candle, some ice,
An
and an apple. And a needle. Or a pin.
Do you want to sleep in here with us?
Yes. I was going to.
Okay.
We zoom out to see Drogar, Artemis, and Cal all
with their
leaning
ear
in.
up
And then we zoom out further to an overhead shot of the blue water and just hear Winnie go,
That's amazing. Right. Excellent girls' night.
Yay!
Callister, Artemis, Drogar, anything else you want to do for the evening, or do we long rest?
I think I have something to do in the morning. I think I'd wait for.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Okay. Then everyone lays their heads down, well-deservedly, after quite a day. And so like the sky is beginning to gray by the time you lay your heads down. So if you want to get 8 hours of sleep, we'll say, you wake up then about like midday, let's say. Oof, cool.
Went to bed at 6. Oh, no.
Went to bed at 5, woke up at noon. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe a little groggy, but strangely rested all the same. And the time is yours.
Like, as early as possible, I'd like to kind of check in on Pasha.
So Pasha, you get up in the morning. He kind of like, at a certain point in the evening, he sort of like introvert Irish goodbye away from everybody at a certain point. And so you walk out into the... maybe you walk out the front step and you're, out on the porch, take a deep breath in of the morning air. Sasha maybe comes around the side of the building from the stables and you give her a scritch behind the ear. And you look up, and in one corner of the overhang of the, what do you call that when it's like an awning kind of deal, you see a tiny little sparrow, and with the feathers all puffed up, a little covered in maybe some like morning dew, and it like shakes its head and puffs out its feathers real big, and it opens its eyes and it swirls its head around on you, and then it like just hops off the little and down to the front porch and hops a few times, in that way that tiny little songbirds do. Mm-hmm. And then pops back into Pasha, who's just sat like cross-legged on the floor. And he looks up at you. Good morning.
I'll give him a little ruffle. Good morning, lad.
Last night was pretty exciting.
It was. You want to take a walk and clear our minds?
Sure.
And so I'd like to kind of meander our way, like, towards, like, a wooded area.
Maybe towards the edge of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And just on the way, like, checking on Pasha, like, kind of see how he's doing.
You're walking through town, and you haven't seen him in an urban environment before, actually. It's almost maybe a mark of how far he's come that he's actually walking through the city.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just looking at... he's just kind of looking around at all the people passing by and all the buildings. And he like almost wide-eyed, like when a tourist goes to New York for the first time. And you can tell that they're a tourist because they're looking up at all the buildings. Everything here is not more than 2 stories. And he's like, all these people live here?
Yeah, they do.
Why?
Well, some people feel safer when they have building around them and structure in society. They don't quite work together like they should, with Strahd looming over them. But in some places, you should see what people can do when they live together. It's amazing what someone can do when they have the time and space to let their mind run.
Well, I believe you. I mean, look at that! And he just gestures to, like, a house. I mean, that's, like, almost as tall as a tree!
And Artemis leans in, he goes, you know where I'm from? Imagine that, 10 times bigger.
What? No.
And made of stone.
No.
Yeah.
They build houses out of rocks?
They do. And some places even have rock men out front.
What?
Great men and women of history, set in stone for all to see.
That's amazing. Why do they do that?
There's many reasons. Some people do it because of pride. And some people are so great that those that they saved want to remember them.
I'd like to be rock one day. I love rocks. You can do so many things with them. You can make tools and fire, and some of them you break them open and inside is like starlight, and some of them you use some to make food taste better, and there's just so many things you can do with them.
You know, I think you can teach me a thing or two about what you can do with rocks.
Well, yeah, that's the best part about knowing people, isn't it? It's like in a field, you can have a yellow flower and a red flower, and if they're in the same field, betwixt them will grow an orange flower.
Your wisdom never ceases to amaze me, young one.
Well, that's just true about flowers.
Once again, you know more than I do.
You'll learn.
And then I imagine by this point we're kind of at the edge of the woods, and I'd like to just kind of sit down with them. There's a reason I brought you out here.
Okay.
I'd like to know if I could ask you a favor.
Sure, I would do anything.
That medallion that I gave you, that symbol on it.
And he kind of digs around in the nightshirt, and brings it out. He's got both his little pouch and the medallion both tied to the same string around his neck.
I felt a little lost without that, and almost losing Sasha last night. Could you ask the trees to make me something that looks like that?
Like this?
A little bit of reassurance that I can wear around my neck.
Okay. And he walks over to the edge of the forest. And he just puts a hand on one of the trees, and he closes his eyes. And for a moment, he just kind of breathes deeply. And it's a nice... it's funny, Artemis, just even watching him, you pick up on more. You feel the wind is a little cooler than it was yesterday. The fog rests still on the morning grass, lingering longer than it has in the past. You just pick up on things that, you know, even you as a ranger are well attuned to sort of the cyclical nature of the forest. But there's something about this kid that even in his presence, like, something is unlocked. And so you just sit there for a meditative moment. And then he says, hello, this is Artemis. He loves trees. He's doing a lot to help this valley and to help all the trees, which have so long missed the sun. I've never seen it, so I don't miss it. I think it's pretty scary, actually. A great ball of fire in the air that can burn your skin. That sounds rough. But I know you like it, and Artemis likes it too. So, could you help him, please? And nothing happens for a minute. Nothing happens for a moment, and then up on the vegetation is pretty sparse. It's really only like conifers and stuff that still has leafage here in this area. So it's a lot of needles and the like. And from one of the overhanging trees, you see miraculously like a little pine cone begin to grow. It's like, you know, like it's on a sped up time loop. You know what I mean? You see it like a little green, you know, nugget, and then it expands, turning brown, and then all of the little seeds fan out, you know. And then it just falls from the branch of the tree right into your open hands. And Pasha like opens his eyes again, and he looks around. He opens his eye again, and he looks around, and he says, "Oh, that's a good one."
And I'll just kind of look at it, and does it just look like a pine cone, or?
And as you look at the little like shingles of the pine cone start to fall away, and as they do so, it reveals the symbol of Valaki in like beautifully smoothed and polished wood, with a ring of amber around the outside.
Whoa!
Cool.
And I think for a moment, like, Artemis is speechless. He can't even think of something to say, and I think maybe a single tear runs down his face. And then he just like kind of holds it to his chest for a second and looks at Pasha. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. It's amazing what you can do when you just ask people what they need.
Something I've learned from you. And then he'll kind of give him another little scruff, and then like kind of put his hand on his shoulder and be like, well, let's go see what the rest of the group is up to.
Okay. And you make your way back.
And on the way, I'll tie up my new necklace.
Yes.
Thank you.
New merch!
Oh no! Oh boy.
The Critical Fail DM Strahdcast features Dan Ison as Callister, Ned Pryce Iannacone as Drogar, Campbell O'Hare as Winnie, Kay Devine-Jones as Kaz, Tyler Kanter as Artemis, and me, Trevor William Fayle, as your DM. The Strahdcast is edited by Kay Devine-Jones and designed by Dan Ison. Curse of Strahd and its original characters are the creative property of Wizards of the Coast. I'm going as our patrons for Halloween this year. Folks like Alyssa Wright, Say Pancake Roll, Julia Schneider, Mia Francis, and Rebecca Lawton. To directly support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/criticalfaildm and subscribe starting at just $5 a month. You'll instantly unlock over 25 Goon exclusive extended gameplay video clips, including Callister's fateful talk with Ezek, a bunch of episodes of Goon Talk, our patron-only talk show podcast, Kay's Keeper Notes from our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Madness and Mercy, and so much more, with new stuff being added every week. You'll be sent a code for 15% off everything in our merch store, etsy.com/shop/criticalfaildm, where you can still pick up a Goon Pin button pack featuring adorable art of the party by Rose and Pomegranate. You'll be invited to our private Discord server where all of us goons love to hang out, and you can join play-by-post D&D sessions with the Gaggle, a community of nerds that regularly display levels of kindness and joy I frankly thought impossible on the internet. If you're not ready to support us financially, there are still plenty of ways to help us out. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CriticalFailDM, binge Madness and Mercy on our YouTube channel, and join us there every other Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time when we do live listens of new episodes of the Strahdcast. Or rate and leave us a review wherever you like to listen. Thanks, Dungeoneers, and take your day with advantage.